Do you dream of casting off and circling the globe on a small sailboat? The kind of boat that has everything you need, nothing you don't, and a price tag that won't sink your budget? A simple, affordable home that can carry you safely across oceans and into the adventure of a lifetime. If that's your dream, today we're looking at 5 legendary small sailboats, proven designs that have already taken countless sailors around the world and just might take you too. The Alberg 30 is one of those boats that punches far above its size. At just under 30 feet, it might look small by today's standards, but this little classic has proven itself on oceans all over the world. Designed by Carl Alberg in the early 1960s and built primarily in Canada, the Alberg 30 was part of that first wave of fiberglass production sailboats. Back then, builders weren't trying to cut corners. They were experimenting with this new material by laying it up thick and heavy. The result is a boat with a reputation for toughness that still holds strong decades later. What makes the Alberg 30 such a capable cruiser is its full keel and heavy displacement. With a long keel running nearly the entire length of the hull, it tracks like it's on rails and holds course in heavy seas. That means less wandering on the helm and more confidence when conditions get rough. It's not fast by modern measures. This isn't a boat built to win races, but it's steady, forgiving, and dependable. Offshore, those qualities count for far more than raw speed. Inside, the layout is simple but surprisingly functional. You'll find a V-berth forward, a small head, a main saloon with opposing settees, and a compact galley near the companionway. It's not spacious, but it works. Many sailors have lived aboard Alberg 35s for months or years at a time, and they'll tell you the boat feels like home once you adjust to the modest space. The joinery is straightforward, and over the years many owners have personalized their interiors, but the bones are always solid. One of the most remarkable things about the Alberg 30 is its track record. These boats have crossed the Atlantic, circumnavigated the globe, and proven themselves in conditions far tougher than most sailors will ever face. That heritage has created a devoted owners' community, with active associations and rendezvous that keep the design alive even today. It's not unusual to find an Alberg 30 at a bargain price, sometimes even free if you're willing to take on a project. Fully restored examples, meanwhile, fetch respectable sums, which is a testament to their enduring reputation. For solo sailors and couples, the Alberg 30 offers a manageable size, simple systems, and the confidence of a true offshore pedigree. It's a boat that embodies the go small, go simple, go now philosophy. If your dream is to sail far on a modest budget, the Alberg 30 might just be the classic pocket cruiser to take you there. The Pacific Seacraft 31 is often described as a little yacht with a big heart. Built in the United States starting in the late 1970s, this design quickly gained a reputation as one of the most seaworthy small cruisers ever produced. If you're looking for a boat under 35 feet that feels truly capable of going anywhere, the Pacific Seacraft 31 deserves a spot at the top of your list. What sets it apart is its traditional Bluewater design blended with smart, modern touches. The boat carries a full keel with a cutaway forefoot, giving it excellent directional stability while still being more maneuverable than older, heavier, full-keel designs. Its displacement is just over 10,000 pounds, with nearly 4,000 pounds of ballast, which translates into stiffness and the ability to carry sail confidently in rougher conditions. Many sailors have praised its sea-kindly motion, which means it moves through the water in a way that doesn't beat up the crew over long passages. Under sail, the Pacific Seacraft 31 isn't flashy, but it's honest. It balances well, it doesn't demand constant attention, and it's forgiving when the weather turns nasty. For short-handed sailors or couples, that reliability makes all the difference. It's cutter-rigged, offering flexibility in sail combinations, which is especially handy offshore when conditions change quickly. You can reduce sail area step by step, keeping the boat balanced without giving up too much drive. Step below, and you'll immediately notice the craftsmanship. Pacific Seacraft is known for its quality interiors, with solid teak joinery, durable finishes, and layouts that make sense for life at sea. The 31's interior includes a V-berth forward, a head, a saloon with settees that double as berths, and a compact but well-equipped galley. There's a sense of warmth and practicality that makes it feel like a much larger boat once you settle in. This boat also has the advantage of being built relatively recently compared to some other classic small cruisers. That means many Pacific Seacraft 31s on the market today are still in excellent condition, with solid hardware, quality construction, and fewer of the quirks you might find in older designs. Prices tend to reflect that. They're not the cheapest small cruisers you'll find, but owners will tell you they're worth every penny for the peace of mind. The Pacific Seacraft 31 embodies what sailors mean when they say Bluewater ready. It's small enough to handle alone, strong enough to take you across oceans, and built with the kind of craftsmanship that inspires confidence. For anyone dreaming of long passages on a boat under 35 feet, it's a true contender. The Baba 30 is a small cruising yacht with a big reputation. Built in Taiwan in the late 1970s and early 1980s, this 30-foot cutter is instantly recognizable with its canoe stern, wooden bowsprit, and abundant teak trim. It's one of those boats that turns heads in every anchorage, not just because of its looks, but because sailors know what it stands for: strength, seaworthiness, and serious offshore pedigree. The Baba 30 is a heavy displacement boat, weighing in at around 12,500 pounds, with nearly half of that as ballast. That ballast-to-displacement ratio, combined with a full keel and attached rudder, gives it the kind of steady motion and tracking that offshore sailors love. It's not fast. Nobody buys a Baba expecting to win races, but when the wind pipes up and the seas get lumpy, it's the sort of boat you can trust to take care of you. Sail handling is straightforward. As a cutter rig, it offers flexibility in sail combinations, so you can balance the boat easily in different wind conditions. Reefing down is simple, and because of the moderate sail plan, it's rarely overpowered. Many solo sailors appreciate that about the Baba 30. It's a boat that forgives fatigue and lets you rest without constant tinkering at the helm. Inside, the Baba 30 feels warm and traditional. The interiors were beautifully crafted, often with extensive teak joinery, solid cabinetry, and a cozy, almost old-world charm. You'll usually find a V-berth forward, a compact head, a main saloon with settees, and a small galley aft. By modern standards, it's snug, but the design makes excellent use of the available space, and for a couple or solo sailor, it's more than enough to feel like home. One of the Baba 30's strongest selling points is its proven Bluewater track record. These boats have crossed oceans, circumnavigated, and taken countless sailors safely across some of the roughest seas. That kind of heritage matters. When you're thousands of miles from shore, you want to know your boat has been there before, and the Baba 30 has many times. On the used market, Baba 30s hold their value well. Restored examples can fetch impressive prices, while project boats sometimes pop up for bargain hunters with the skills and patience to bring them back to glory. Either way, you're buying into a community of sailors who are passionate about their boats and generous with advice and support. For sailors drawn to traditional lines, old-school craftsmanship, and the comfort of a rugged, proven offshore boat, the Baba 30 remains one of the most endearing small cruisers you can find. It's not about flash or speed, it's about trust, charm, and the promise of safe passage wherever you want to go. Few boats have earned the kind of respect that the Contessa 32 commands. Designed in the United Kingdom by David Sadler, in the early 1970s, this sleek, seaworthy cruiser racer quickly gained a reputation as one of the most capable small offshore yachts ever built. Its reputation was cemented during the infamous 1979 Fastnet race, where many Contessa 32s survived conditions that overwhelmed larger, supposedly more capable yachts. That event alone sealed its place in sailing history. At just over 32 feet long with a narrow beam and deep fin keel, the Contessa 32 is a boat that loves heavy weather. Its long overhangs and fine entry give it a classic look, but more importantly, they contribute to a soft, sea-kindly motion when the going gets tough. It's not a light air flyer, but when the breeze kicks in, the Contessa comes alive. Offshore sailors love its balance and predictability, two traits that matter most when you're a long way from shelter. Unlike some heavy displacement cruisers of its era, the Contessa 32 was designed to perform. It can hold its own in club racing and still makes fast, safe passages offshore. That versatility is part of its appeal. You don't just get a floating tank, you get a boat that's genuinely fun to sail. The helm is light and responsive, and it has a reputation for tracking well upwind even in challenging seas. Below decks, the Contessa 32 is simple and functional. Space is limited compared to modern 30-footers thanks to its narrow beam, but the layout is practical. A forward V-berth, small head, and a saloon with settees and a galley provide the basics without fuss. It's not a boat you buy for spacious accommodations. You buy it because you know it'll look after you when the sea turns nasty. Owners often describe the Contessa 32 as a boat that inspires confidence. Many have taken them across the Atlantic, around Cape Horn, and on circumnavigations. They're overbuilt compared to lighter modern production boats, with solid layups and robust fittings that stand the test of time. That's why, even today, decades after production peaked, there's a thriving community of Contessa owners, particularly in the UK and Europe. On the used market, prices vary widely, but good examples are always in demand. And while refits can be costly, like with any older offshore boat, many sailors are happy to invest, knowing they're maintaining a legend. The Contessa 32 is more than just a sailboat. It's a symbol of seaworthiness, resilience, and classic design. For those who dream of sailing far in a boat that has already proven itself in the harshest conditions, the Contessa 32 remains one of the most respected choices in the world. The Bristol Channel Cutter 28, often just called the BCC 28, has a near-mythical reputation among serious sailors. Designed by Lyle Hess and built primarily by the Sam L. Morse Company starting in the 1970s, it's one of those rare boats that manages to be small in size but massive in capability. Ask almost any Bluewater cruiser to name the toughest small sailboats, and the BCC 28 will always make the list. At just 28 feet on deck, this boat is compact, but don't let that fool you. With a displacement of about 14,000 pounds and over 4,600 pounds of lead ballast, it's an incredibly stiff, solid little ship. The full keel and attached rudder give it superb directional stability and a forgiving motion at sea. It's not going to win races or surf down waves like a lightweight modern design, but what it will do is keep moving safely and steadily, even when conditions get ugly. That's why sailors trust it for long passages and circumnavigations. Rigged as a cutter, the BCC 28 has a versatile sail plan. The combination of mainsail, staysail, and jib on a bowsprit lets you balance the boat perfectly in varying wind conditions. Reefing down is simple, and because the rig is traditional and intentionally conservative, it holds up well offshore. Owners love the reliability. Fewer complex systems mean fewer things to break when you're 1,000 miles from land. The interior of the Bristol Channel Cutter 28 is a masterclass in efficiency. It's compact, of course, but the layout makes the most of every inch. You'll usually find a V-berth forward, a small head, a saloon with settees that double as sea berths, and a galley that's simple but seaworthy. Storage is plentiful, with deep lockers and smartly designed cabinetry. The woodwork is traditional, lots of teak and mahogany, giving the cabin a warm, timeless feel. What really sets the BCC 28 apart is the quality of its construction. These boats were famously overbuilt, with thick fiberglass hulls, robust bulkheads, and bronze hardware. Everything about them was designed to withstand the rigors of ocean sailing. As a result, many of these boats are still out there today, decades after they were first launched, carrying sailors safely across the seas. The BCC 28 isn't for everyone. It's expensive for its size, heavy to handle in light winds, and lacks the space of modern cruisers. But for those who want a boat that will take care of them no matter what the ocean throws their way, it's one of the finest small Bluewater cruisers ever built. So there you have it, 5 small but mighty sailboats that have carried countless sailors safely across oceans and around the world. From the classic lines of the Alberg 30 to the rock-solid confidence of the Bristol Channel Cutter 28, these boats prove that you don't need a massive yacht or a bottomless budget to chase big adventures. What you do need is the right boat, a willingness to live simply, and the spirit to go. Each of these designs has stood the test of time, not just because they're beautiful or well-built, but because they've proven themselves where it really matters, out on the open sea. They're the kind of boats that give you confidence when the horizon is empty and the weather turns rough. If you've ever dreamed of going small and going far, maybe one of these boats is calling your name. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the size of the boat, it's about the size of the dream. Thanks for coming along on this journey. If you enjoyed it, let me know which of these boats you'd choose for your own voyage. Until next time, fair winds and following seas.